So I have been getting women on a regular basis tell me that they want a husband like mine. And of course, these women are single, and I get the naiveness in this, right? Because unless you've been married, you don't understand how hard marriage is, right? And marriage is tough. It's work all day long, every day. And so I get what they're saying, right? They want a good husband. I get it, right? But unless you've been married, you don't see the covering that is on marriage. And what happens is, what I see is that, you can, often you portray, you see, on the outside it looks perfect, right? But you don't see what happens behind closed doors. And so often I found that you will have death, illness, you'll have trauma, you'll have infidelity in a relationship, sometimes all at once. And these are things that you deal with in private. No one knows publicly, right? So marriage is tough. And so I have been always the type, I don't want anybody's husband, right? I don't want anybody. There's no person that has displayed anything that I would want in a man. So I'm always careful, and I always kind of smile when someone says, I want a husband like yours, because I realize they don't know what they're asking for, because you don't know what that woman has to go through, endure behind closed doors. You just see one thing, right? You don't see the day to day. You don't see the issues that happen. And two, marriages, when spouses hurt each other, right? Both spouses hurt each other, and it's because the spouses are closest to each other all the time. They're with each other. Oftentimes we know that spouse is going to be there, so we can say hurtful things and not consider it till after the fact. There's just, because you're together all the time, you hurt each other, not, sometimes unintentionally. And so the person is always there, and so you don't realize how things that you would deal with in a dating relationship that you could easily walk away from, you could not walk away in a marriage because of the covenant that you made. And so a lot of things you put up with, a lot of things you endure, a lot of things you have to go through, a lot of things you have to grow through in that marriage. And the longer you're married, you can see how much you endure as a married couple. And it's the responsibility you've taken, right? It's the vows that you've taken, in sickness and health, to death do us part, richer and poor, all these things. Because in my opinion, when the covenant was made, the vows, it was to let you know that it's not going to always be gravy, right? And so we don't realize when we are single how much a married woman or married man has to go through in marriage. And it's not so easily broken. That three-string cord is not easily broken. You put up with a lot of things people don't see. Just say, for example, you protect in public your spouse, you cover your spouse, and in private you're correcting, you're coaching, you're saying things that need to be said, you're addressing issues that you wouldn't do for the whole world to see. And so there's a lot of things that happen in marriage behind closed doors. There's a lot of growth that happens. There's a lot of pain that happens. There's just a lot of things that happens behind closed doors. And for me, for as long as I live, I only want who God wants for me. I only want His will for my life, whatever that looks like. And so just something that made me really think about how, I get women who tell me this all the time, and I'm thinking, I would not dare want someone like somebody else. I just wouldn't dare, because I've been married 28 years of my adult life, right? I've only not been married 2 years since I've been an adult. So I understand, right? I've had 2 marriages, and I see the things that happen in marriage, and I know the covenant that you make in marriage, and I know that you can't easily walk away from something. God is serious about marriage, right? There's things that He says about marriage that we can't just do what we want to do, right? So it's just something that makes me think about it every time I hear somebody say, I want a husband like yours, is they don't realize what they're asking for. They don't realize what you go through in marriage. And so just my opinion on this, what I hear all the time.